Are you looking for a robo-advisor to start your investment journey in Singapore? In this video, I will show you one of the most popular robo-advisor in Singapore, Endowus. And if you want to look at how my Endowus portfolio has done so far, stay tuned and continue watching. Coming up. Alright guys, welcome to another episode of Honey Money SG. My name is Christopher and today I'm going to share with you one of the robo-advisors that I use for my investment portfolio. Quick disclaimer at the bottom here, so I'm not a professional financial advisor, neither do I constitute any of my content as financial or investment advice. So please do your own due diligence before you start investing in any kind of financial product. Okay, so what is a robo-advisor and who is Endowus? A robo-advisor is a platform that typically helps you do the investment when you have deposited funds with them or have linked them up to your CPF or your SRS account. So for your information, Endowus is a fee-only wealth platform that can help you invest your cash, CPF and your SRS. Now I'll walk you through why did I choose Endowus as my robo-advisor and my thought process before deciding which robo-advisor that I go with. Quick background about my investment journey. I already have an individual stock picking portfolio, so the robo-advisor is just another kind of investment method that I want to diversify to. Part of the reason is because it will not have any emotion and it can help me dollar cost average effectively. And also in my current stock portfolio, I do not have any S&P 500 ETFs. So here I am looking for a robo-advisor to help me dollar cost average into the S&P 500 ETF. Another reason that I started looking to this quite lately is because I started to want to utilize my SRS funds for investment. So for those who are not familiar with the SRS or the Supplementary Retirement Sum, it is basically a deferred income tax scheme that can enable Singaporeans and PRs to defer their assessable income tax if they put money into this account. But the SRS account itself does not have high interest rates. In order to fully optimize the SRS, we will need to use these funds to invest. And I started contributing to SRS since late last year in 2020 to reduce my personal income tax and also build retirement fund. So my plan for SRS in 2021 is to top up to the limit of 15.3k, which is around $1,275 a month. And this contribution will go fully to my robo-advisor to invest in the S&P 500. And I also think further ahead to invest my excess CPF ordinary account funds above the $20,000 threshold so that it can earn a far better rate than 2.5% of the OA. So my criteria for robo-advisor platform is mainly two things. Number one, it can use both CPF and SRS to invest. And number two, it is a strong and reliable platform. Next, let me tell you a story of how did I find Endowus and why did I choose it. Okay guys, so if you are finding value in this video so far, would you help give a like button at the bottom of the video? Thank you guys, and your little encouragement goes a long way. So I was browsing through this personal finance community website called Seedly. For people who are not familiar with Seedly, this is one of the most popular Singapore community aimed to help young adults like us to manage our personal finance. So I searched for the robo-advisors in this platform, looking at the ratings, and only two robo-advisors came out at top, Endowus versus Stashaway. And then I went to each of the reviews and their personal websites to review what are the differences. So I found that Endowus can actually invest your CPF OA while Stashaway can't. I believe the reason is because Endowus is one of the only few financial institutions that can meet CPF requirements of providing a safe and reliable platform for investors to put in the CPF money. With my priority to invest SRS and CPF OA, I think Endowus make an easy choice out of the two. So if you look at the reviews of Endowus on the Seedly platform, most of it comes out very positive. So the good points being a positive user experience, customer support, and also the ease of sign up. Okay, so then I finished all the reviews, right? I went to find a referral code that I could use. So if you are referred by a friend, you can actually get $20 of excess free credit. So try to get a referral from your friend. And if you want to support my channel, you can also use my referral link provided in the description box below. And then we want to take a look at the fee structure. So for CPF and SRS investments for Endowus, it's a flat 0.4% per annum. And if you are using cash, it starts at 0.6%. To me, that is a fairly cheap rate considering robo-advisors. I used to invest in the DBS DG portfolio and they were charging me 0.75% per annum. So is Endowus cheap? I believe so if you compare to one of those robo-advisor players. Now, one thing before you start investing with your CPF and SRS funds, you will need to create these investment accounts with your bank. Any of the three local banks, DBS, UOB, OCBC. You can even create those accounts online. So what you need is a CPF investment account and the SRS account. Once these two accounts are set up, you can then link them to your Endowus account. And then for people who want to invest with their cash, it's just an easy bank transfer to the bank account of the Endowus. Okay, next let's move on to how to use Endowus. So after you have registered for everything and fill in your particulars and data, it takes about 2 weeks for Endowus to process and set up everything for you. It takes them quite a while to process the application as well because they have to set up the investment account with UOB Kay Hian, which is a stockbroker. So your assets are actually held in UOB Kay Hian instead of the Endowus platform itself. This helps to provide an additional point of security for people who are skeptical of new robo advisors. Okay, so once you wait for your account to be ready, you have linked up your CPF or your SRS account, you have deposited your funds to the account. What's next? You can start by selecting your goal. There are basically 3 goals that you can choose from, which is Cash Smart, General Wealth Accumulation, and also Fund Smart. So Cash Smart is just a regular savings strategy similar to how a fixed deposit works in a bank. Right now the Cash Smart rate is around 1.6%. So if you have idle cash lying around in the bank earning no interest rates, you may want to consider putting your cash into the Cash Smart. Next is the General Wealth Accumulation. So for General Wealth Accumulation, it's more like those Endowus default portfolios where they have already selected the funds based on your age, risk tolerance, and your income. And then the last one is Fund Smart, where you can select your own basket of funds, even go up to 100% for one fund. So what did I choose for my Robo Advisor investment? I actually started with 2 goals: Fund Smart and the General Wealth Accumulation. For the Fund Smart strategy, I chose a 100% S&P 500 strategy, and that's why I invested in the Lion Infinity 500, which tracks the S&P 500 index. For the General Wealth Accumulation, I chose a risk tolerance of 50%, so that diversifies into world index funds, but majority still in the S&P 500 index. So essentially my whole Robo Advisor portfolio is more than 80% in the S&P 500 index, and then the rest of the 20% is in those world index funds or smaller emerging market funds. And one of the features is you can look at your top 10 holdings. So if you scroll over here, you can see that my top holding actually mirrors that of the S&P 500 index. So how I automate this investment process is that I will dollar cost average, or DCA, every month $1,000 from my SRS. So this $1,000 will be invested into my Fund Smart strategy. I have a remaining $275 which I will manually decide whether to put in the Fund Smart or the General Wealth Accumulation goal. So like I mentioned earlier, for year 2021, I will invest $1,275 monthly and multiply that by 12 months, I'll reach the cap of 15.3k for SRS contribution. And also taking the 15.3k at an income tax bracket of 7%, I will save around $1,000 of income tax. So it's a win-win for me. On one hand, I get investment yield. On the other hand, I gain tax savings. Of course, past performance is not an indicator of future performance, so do take this data as a grain of salt. As people always say, anything can happen in the stock market, and they will stay irrational longer than you can stay rational. Okay, then how is my performance after 2 months investing? So I started this Robo Advisor platform late last year in the mid of December, and here is my performance till this date, mid of Feb. I must say this is quite a good performance considering that this is only a short time frame of 2 months, but that's also because the market has rallied towards the year end and even in January. So I wouldn't expect this kind of gains to happen year over year. My conservative estimate is only around 8% year on year annual growth, so anything above that is a bonus. Lastly, would I recommend you to try out Endowus as your Robo Advisor platform? Definitely yes, if you have spare funds in your CPF OA or your SRS. So if your CPF OA account balance is above the $20,000 threshold, you are able to invest these funds in a Robo Advisor like Endowus, so you can beat the 2.5% interest rate given by the OA. And then for SRS, you should invest it, otherwise it will just be earning peanuts lying down in the SRS bank. While on the flip side, I will not consider to use cash for this Robo Advisor, because the only time that you should use cash for this is when you're doing the Cash Smart strategy. That use about 1.6%, but there are other alternatives out there in the market right now, such as the high yield savings account or other kind of short-term saving plans. So do look around in the market and see what offers are the best at the moment. Okay, so if you have found value in today's sharing of my Endowus journey so far, please like this video and share it to your friends and family who may find this useful as well. Also remember to subscribe to the channel so that I can have more reviews and analysis like this that may interest you. Thank you for your time, and I'll see you on the next one.